Alrighty, welcome back, Griffins. Once again, if you're just now joining us, unfortunately, due to Riot's technical difficulties with their spectating tool, we unfortunately missed the first game, but good news, a little bit of a recap. 32 eliminations to 20. MWSU takes the first game after CSU takes a dragon. MWSU collapses on them, and they go ahead, win the team fight, and end the game. So MWSU is up by 1 in this best of 3 series. So as we go ahead and get ready for the second game here, hopefully we don't have those technical difficulties again. Very excited to go ahead and get this one rolling. So as we can see, MWSU is now on the blue side, the left side, CSU, Columbia State University, on the right. The first ban phase already done. The Jacks, the Yone, and the Rel are going to go ahead and get taken out here. From the side of CSU, they take out the Renata, the Zion, and the Hecarim. Into the first pick phase, Elvamp locks in the Varus, hovering Kane and Jarvan going back and forth. Might go for the Wukong again, as I believe Wukong was 7-1 or 7-0 from last game after looking at the stats. So, but from CSU, they do have the Nautilus and Sejuani. So the support in the jungler, Wukong, is going to get locked in. Moving on down to the mid laner, Amon. Just waiting for it. What's it going to be here? Oh, Yuumi hover for some reason. All right. Thresh is going to get locked in. Although they were trying to pick the support, but Yuumi is definitely interesting. I do know that Yuumi had a little bit of a rework, but Thresh, a comfort pick, will go ahead and make its way onto the Rift here for this next game. I believe the mid laner for CSU is Dan. CSU Dan. Hovering the Syndra. Might lock it in with 3 seconds remaining. And there we go. There's the AP for the side of CSU, the ability power. Now we go ahead, finishing the first pick phase and going into the second ban phase. Let's see who they're going to go ahead and target in this situation. If they want to go ahead and target champions from last game that were just a little bit too strong, or if they want to go ahead and try picking some of the other favorite picks. The Zeri's going to go ahead and get picked or get taken out of the game there with that ban. Sion now targeting the top side was MWSU, the Sion ban. What's it going to be next? Are they going to target the bot lane, the jungler? Possibly. Although it probably wouldn't make much sense. But they could possibly target the mid laner or the ADC for the side of it. Or for CSU could target those roles from MWSU. It's going to be the Aphelios, the ADC pick. The final ban for MWSU, what's it going to be? It's going to be Kai'Sa's. MWSU also targets the ADC role as well. Now we go into our final pick phase. Ten seconds remaining. These last couple of picks here too could decide how the early game is going to go, or if they're going to be kind of late game heavy. Going for the Ezreal, a little bit of range there. Mixture of AP and the AD with the auto attacks there. Once again, it will be the Ezreal. Now, what can MWSU do to kind of not target the bot lane, but play into that bot lane? Ezreal can get a little bit annoying sometimes, so maybe somebody who can also take care of the range. Oh, I think they're actually going to target or pick the top lane or the bottom lane. This one's interesting. That might actually be a Shen mid, as Vars is locked in. So I have seen Shen mid be quite a couple of times, but Kiana being hovered. Kiana we have yet to see. 5 seconds remaining. Is it going to be Kiana for the mid lane? And maybe Shen top Varus bot. Gangplank. Azir. And Azir is going to be locked in. Assuming that's going to be picked up by Amon, as he has been playing that recently. Did a little bit of research. Looking for what seems to be the top laner now. Is it going to be Set? Mr. JoJo reference. And there it is. Set's going to be locked in. So, Shen versus Set, Wukong jungling against Sejuani, Azir and Syndra in mid lane together. Varus, Ezreal, Thresh, and Nautilus will be the last couple of that bot lane matchup there. Is definitely looking a little bit scary. Ezreal can definitely have a lot of burst damage, especially with the Nautilus and Nautilus's devastating hook, his Q ability. But Thresh just also has his hooks too as well. They just don't go as they just aren't as heavy as Nautilus's Q, but still work in the same way. Varus is something you want to watch out for here as well, considering he can almost one-shot champions at like level 3. So with about 13 seconds remaining here too, Griffins, we're going to go ahead and swap on over to our spectate delay, and hopefully we don't have those technical difficulties again. But anyways, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alrighty, welcome back, Griffins, and with success this time. We don't have any issues here, no technical difficulties so far. And as we can see quite the interesting strategy right now. It seems that CSU is invading for MWSU's red buff here. So, yeah, they're going to be doing a little bit of the bush strats, waiting. Oh, it seems, though, that Wukong has already scoped out that they're not at their red buff either. So they might be doing a little bit of a connection here. I think they've managed to connect the pieces. Oh, they're going to be walking away now. They might be going for Azir, but Azir's going to back off just a little bit here. Oh, and there's that position giveaway. Set will be heading up back towards bot side, and everyone else is going to go help their jungler's leash. So, yeah, here we are now. So, Ammon into, or I'm sorry, my apologies, Azir into Syndra, or Ammon into CSU Dan. Now, that's very interesting because I know Azir is a very squishy, but they might have changed Azir. It's definitely been a while since I've seen him. They might have changed him to where he's not as squishy and he can't get autoed down by a mage in the first 2 minutes. So, Elvamp getting autoed down here by the set. We'll be forced to go ahead and back off just a little bit there. Seems that our bot laners, at least Evo's laner, is missing just a little bit of farm as Ezreal managed to grab his first 3 minions there. It's definitely a hard task to do, considering once you get down to lane with the timing, you technically just have to have an ability that can charge up and kind of hit all 3 minions, unless you're just going to miss a couple of, I'd say about 20 gold there. So, but seems that bot lane is sitting pretty now. They're just going to have their little back and forths. Ammon taking a little bit of damage from Dan. Syndra is definitely going to be poke heavy, so Ammon's got to be prepared for it. Oh, Wukong's in a little bit of a tough position. There goes Lags. We'll go ahead and teleport dash away. Here comes Set. They really want to try and grab this first blood here, but I don't really think they're going to be successful. So, thanks to the abilities of Wukong, he manages to make it out safely. I think he managed to steal the red buff, though, from Sejuani, so it's definitely going to push Sejuani back a little bit. So, Elvamp is pushed back to their tower, so a gank from Wukong could honestly be very useful here. Oh, no, Wukong didn't steal the red buff, so Sejuani manages to pick it up. So as of right now, Sejuani's actually a little bit more ahead right now. Set on a little bit of a roam adventure, as he's probably helping Sejuani with the Scuttle Crab. Wants to grab that extra vision in case Wukong passes through topside river. So you can see from that bottom side minimap, bottom right specifically, we can kind of see where everyone is right now. So Ammon doesn't want to deal with the ganking Sejuani right now, so manages to back off. Hydroxide is probably looking for a Q here onto Evozinator. Misses it. A hook onto the Ezreal. And here come the auto attacks from Evozinator. Evozinator is going to go ahead and take the Lantern. A flash coming from the Ezreal. Nautilus is in a bit of a tough position, but here comes a gank that comes in from Sejuani. Both flashes are up by both support and ADC. From the side of MWSU, a great hook that comes in from the Thresh Throw, pulling Nautilus under the tower, taking a couple of tower shots, and Nautilus will get finished off, and first blood will go over to the side of MWSU. Very well played, a little bit of an overstay. Just kind of wanted to go, and oh, wow. Look at that taunt that comes in from Shen here. A lot happening across the map here in this 4 to 5 minute range. No, but down on that bottom side there, unfortunately, we don't have a replay, but no, just a great turnaround that came in from the Thresh, and Nautilus just kind of overstepped a little bit too far, and we'll go ahead and suffer for it. So, Elvamp, unafraid of the set, is going to block a lot of these auto attacks. Look at the minion damage going onto the set. This might be the 1v1 we want to see. A flash will be forced out of the set there. Elvamp had their abilities on cooldown, so chances are they're going to go back to farming, forcing set away. And honestly, that's pretty worth it, in my opinion. Now, what Elvamp can do here is can actually recall or back and other terminology, you can go ahead and go back to base, buy some items, teleport back up the top side, and they'll barely miss anything for it. Oh, it seems that Ammon is level 6, a level above Dan. Dan turns level 6, and now we have both ultimates in the mid lane. But Ammon is a little bit out of mana right now. Can't really use her abilities without it, so Sejuani's going to be moving up towards top side. Little fun fact, one of my favorite Sejuani skins, considering instead of an actual kind of like a boar or whatever type of animal she usually rides, instead it's a pig, I believe. So I believe it was a Year of the Pig skin. So definitely one of my favorite skins. But going on back to the main game, Dragon wants to kind of be picked up here by MWSU. We can see Wukong down on that bottom side. However, there's a lot of pressure on Evozinator right now in this little bit of a 1v2. Thresh, Fanza will go ahead and be rotating towards his ADC. Oh, Hydroxide doesn't want to get hooked by the Thresh. He goes ahead and goes back behind their minions. Check up the Ezreal, the enemy Ezreal. Just kind of taking out the minions from the side to prevent themselves from getting hooked if they step forward. Dragon is going to be started by Wukong and MWSU's bot lane. So here it is. Is Sejuani going to go for the steal? I don't believe so. We might see a little bit of a fight here. It seems that Set got taunted up in the top side here. A little fight's going to break out, but it's a 4 versus 3 situation. 4 versus 4. Fanza's going to get sniped by Checkup. The Set manages to take Shen out from under their tower. So we kind of had a 1v1 up on the top side and a 4v4 down on the bottom side. And it's unfortunate that we actually lose one of our players because of it. It seemed like such a good fight, but the rotate from Syndra kind of did that little bit of extra damage that CSU needed, and they'll go ahead and prevail with that fight with grabbing 1. So Sejuani might be looking for an extra elimination here too. Varus trying to prevent them from getting the ward and Tribush, but will be unsuccessful. Elvamp will now go back to farming some of the minions under tower. Here comes a Hex Flash from the Nautilus. Can Varus grab the Lantern? Yes, he does. I'm going to go ahead and prevent them from taking that extra damage here. Oh, the Set going to turn around, of course, with that shield ability. Very deadly, very dangerous, as we saw. And will not go down alone in that 1v2 situation. We'll go ahead and take out Elvamp. But Wukong manages to grab an elimination. Fanza now in the mid lane. There's a flash being forced out of the Syndra. It's very worth it. So now Syndra is going to be at a lack of escapability if they get caught out, especially with the Azir ultimate, where he basically builds a giant wall of his sand soldiers. He can kind of just push you out of the way and behind you. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how Ammon can capitalize on that lack of flash in the mid lane. Rift Herald's going to be picked up by both Lax and Elvamp. MWSU, despite themselves being up a Drake 2, it is 2-2 in eliminations, and they're down by about 600 gold. Not as bad as I thought, about 700 gold, but Elvamp and Set looking to get into another skirmish with each other here. Oh, nice taunt that comes in from the Shen. It's going to be able to block some of these auto attacks that come out from Set. However, Set's doing a lot of damage. I think Set's going to go ahead and win that small trade there. A miss stun that comes out from the Syndra with their orbs here. Here comes the Sejuani, though. I think Sejuani. Oh, Ammon with the ulti flash will manage to make it out alive, pushing Sejuani away. Very well played. Wow, absolutely impressive mechanics that come out from Ammon there. It was a really good gank too. It's just that the fact that Ammon just had that little time frame there to use his ultimate. However, here comes. Okay, so with a 2v1 or a 1 versus 2 up on that top side, a gank that comes out from the Sejuani, Shen manages to get a taunt off on the Set. making Set take an extra tower shot. And with tower shots, every tower shot you take extra damage. So with Set being under tower for about, I think, 3 tower shots, unfortunately, Set does go down. And so, yeah, once again, yeah, Shen doesn't go down alone. Ezreal's in a little bit of a tough position. Fanzo will go ahead and pick off another elimination there. And Wukong will go ahead and pick off the Nautilus. So, with our ADC being 0-0-3 and our support being 2-1, who's really the ADC in this comp? No. Jokes aside, though, very well played. Good gank that comes in from Lax. So some tower plating is going to be picked up here, too. Some of that extra gold will go over to MWSU as they're slowly kind of bridging the gap here. Oh, I think Rift Herald gets placed just a little bit too late here. And Lax will be forced to walk away from the tower. But here we go. We do have Shelly on the Rift now. Oh, they want this first tower. I think they might actually get it here. An ultimate that comes out from Ezreal. We'll try, or we'll be trying to take out the minions there to try and force MWSU away from that bottom side tower. But up on the top side there, we do see Elfamp and Set getting into, once again, another skirmish. Checkup accidentally getting hooked by the Thresh. Nautilus will probably go down here as well. So look at that. Yeah, so double kill now goes over to the Varus. I'm assuming Evozinator heard me and says there is no way I'm letting my Thresh become the ADC. So, yeah. A couple of bush threats that came out there, and oh, Elfamp needs to just get that extra auto attack off, and they're on the same HP. A little bit of an even fight there. They're both on at least 100 health. Oh, but the healing that comes in from Set just seems like a little bit more. Shen will go ahead and recall. Oh, but I think they want... I think they really want to try and take out this Set under tower once again. So, Lax and Ammon will be starting the Dragon, but here comes Sejuani. They managed to catch out Ammon, but the ulti that comes in from the Shen, is it worth it though? Shen's on like 10 HP. Shen is still alive! This team fight's going back and forth. They let Varus stay alive for just a little bit too long, and Varus will manage to go ahead and find one elimination. Misses the Q, though, and there's a lack of damage now. Ezreal managed to go ahead and find one elimination, but Nautilus will get caught out just a little bit, trying to play and letting his ADC escape. Going over the wall now is the Ezreal. Ezreal managed to get hooked. He's going to go ahead and get flayed towards Ammon, and a couple of auto attacks now. A lot happening down in the bottom side jungle. Eliminations all around. I believe MWSU managed to find 4 or 3 to 4 eliminations with 3 separate fights finding themselves there. Oh, my apologies. Excuse me. Ooh. But no, what really came of that was very interesting. It seems that it seems like there was 3 1v1s going on, or 3 different fights, and I think what happened there is that CSU accidentally spread out just a little bit too far, and they said, okay, we can't win this, but each and every single one of them left at a different time, meaning that it was really 3 different 3 versus 1s, right? So MWSU managed to stick together there, and I think that's why they managed to capitalize on a lot of those eliminations down on the bottom side. So, but moving on from that, we do see Vozinator and Ammon grouping up. Fans is there as well too, wants to join in on the party. Seems that I don't think Dragon was ever picked up too, so I think everybody's really just regrouping towards that bottom side Drake. Oh, they don't want MWSU to have it. Can they steal it? No, unfortunately, they cannot. MWSU doesn't want to really jump in on that and a risk going into a fight there. So, does appear that we'll have the chem plants, or the chem Drake map. My apologies, just can't speak English, can I? Evozinator and Fanza are now grouping mid, and Ezreal and Nautilus will go there to kind of even that out, as the mid laners are on the bottom side. Sejuani will be looking for a gank here, but Wukong is in the vicinity. Shen is roaming around too in their ally blue side's jungle. Oh, a nice hook onto the Ezreal. It's going to be stuck in place there. Here comes the Q charge up. Does it land? No, it cannot. Evozinator cannot secure the elimination there. Waiting too long now. Thresh goes down. However, a couple of Wukong ultimates will manage to find themselves onto the Rift here. Lax. Ezreal's going to get away on 1 HP. And because Lax is in that back line, He's letting his team kind of get taken out there, so it's very unfortunate. A great double stun that comes out from Elfamp, though, but I think Set's just a little bit too strong. Set will go ahead and manage to find a double kill. A back-and-forth fight. Mispositionings all over the place. Not really mispositionings, but interesting positionings, I'd have to say. So, my apologies, excuse me for that. But, yes, it does seem that there is a couple of 1v1s. It was really just who prevailed on what eliminations. And it's just unfortunate, or unfortunately, that CSU, or fortunate for CSU, that they managed to grab eliminations before MWSU can really find anyone there besides the Ezreal. I'm sure if the Ezreal got taken out there, then MWSU would have had a different game plan. But it forced Wukong away, and a couple of those ultimates really didn't hit. So, oh, Evozinator taking a lot of damage here. A dangerous amount of damage. Here comes the hook. Nautilus will be taking a couple of tower shots. Manages to Q Evozinator. Evozinator managed to find one. A great Shen ulti, a sidestep that comes out from Evozinator. And Shen saves Evozinator's life. Now in the mid lane, here comes Set. You got to watch out for the Set too. Maybe a little bit of a Shurima shuffle. Amon taking 600 true damage. Won't take away half of his HP there with the Set W. Oh, a great flash stun, but Ezreal managed to make it over the wall. Elfamp's in a little bit of a tough position here. Can they get away? Here comes the stun coming out from the Syndra. The ultimate, pressing R, will go ahead and take out the Shen. Ammon's in a little bit of a tough position here, taking a lot of damage. CSU looking very comfortable. We'll go ahead and try and siege the mid lane tower, but as MWSU gains numbers and groups up just a little bit more, they're not really going to capitalize on it. So Aluna is going to be forced to back off there as they manage to find themselves in a 1v2. A missed hook that comes out from Fanza. MWSU will now be backing off. Rift Herald is up right now, and I think that is what CSU is looking for right now. Oh, Lax is in a little bit of a tough position. Another missed hook coming out from Fanza. We're just waiting for an engage, waiting for a hook. 292 damage on over to Dan. Not much luck there with the VARSITY, although he did not have his passive stacks on there. So, are they going to contest the Rift Herald is the question. No, I think MWSU is just going to go ahead. Shen is shoving down shoving the waves down in the bottom side. MWSU. Oh, Varus is walking away now, grabs the lantern, and will make it out safely. Now, what will CSU do here? They are gonna take the mid lane tower. I think Shelly's gonna do a lot of damage here, except this time Shelly is on the side of CSU. So another great hook that comes out from Fanza. This one lands, but check up. Nobody's really gonna be able to go off of that. So. Oh, Shelly's going to go ahead and get ready again. Lax is going to go ahead and get queued there by the Nautilus. An ulti from the Nautilus managed to go onto Evozinator. So they are down in ultimates. Set will go ahead and W, gaining his overshield. Oh, Aliuna. Here comes a teleport coming in from the Shen. No, the Azir! Aliuna is going to go ahead and get shoved towards Evozinator. Evozinator managed to find a double kill, a miss hook onto the Ezreal, and we'll go ahead and leave him up. Evozinator with the triple kill, but goes down by the Syndra. Ultimate fans us in a little bit of a tough position. Here comes the ultimate coming out from the Shen, and they're going to go ahead and try and collapse onto the Syndra. But I don't think there's enough mana that from Fanza to try and hook the Syndra, so Syndra will go ahead and make it out alive. However, an overall one fight for MWSU as they have 3 standing and CSU only has Syndra last alive. So, Fanza now hooking onto the Drake will go ahead and, oh, no, not going to queue his way over. It seems that they're just going to grab the Drake and try and just kind of gain more map control after that fight, so. Nobody's on respawn anymore. We're back to a little bit of a 5 versus 5. Aliuna is going to be clearing out their blue side. They might be looking for a little bit of a pick here. I can't quite tell. Evozinator is going to be taking that red buff. Really wants to have that burn effect. Oh yeah, they're that burn effect when it comes to their auto attacks here, just to give them that little boost of, or that little heft of damage there. So One thing, explaining why the map looks green too. Again, Chemtech Drake after two Drakes have been killed and taken out of the game, the map does change to any of the types of the Drakes. So we did get Chemtech this time, and what Chemtech does is it takes the plants that summoners can use, or champions can use, to kind of, there's a health plant, there's a sight plant, there's a blast cone that kind of shifts you into the air, into a different little part of the map in the vicinity. But with Chemtech, it kind of increases those things. But on from that, we might see a little bit of a fight here. Nautilus almost manages to find Lax there, but all set. Just kind of figuring out what to do. Do you want to stay down to the bottom side, or do you want to move up towards the team? Decisions that can really make or break a fight here. Sejuani's going to be moving up. Oh, a great taunt that comes out from Elf Vamp. That extra damage, those tower shots onto the set. Seems that we do have a standstill in the bot lane. Fanza can't quite land the hook on Aliuna. Amon and Lax are ready for a fight, considering it is in their jungle. Oh, Dan and Nautilus are going up towards the top side. Oh, they hit the Nautilus onto back over the wall using the upgraded blast cone. So as I was talking about, those plants just managed to move Nautilus back to where he originally was. So I guess that helps Nautilus in this case, as they are grouping up for the Baron. Evozinator, Fanza, Lax is there too. Amon is on the top side. Shen is just trying to prevent this set on the bot lane. So, oh, misses the taunt there. Oh, and you might just want to back off there. Set's gonna manage to grab that tower. A lot of tower damage. Set might be looking to split push, maybe for the rest of the game here, unless he wants to be involved in this next team fight. Baron's gonna get started by CSU. Lax is going to be a part of this engage here. Ezreal's doing a lot of damage. Couple of knockouts back and forth. A very slow team fight. Amon, however, going into the back line. We'll just go ahead and find the Syndra. Varus fighting the Nautilus. Wukong taking out the Sejuani, and Azir taking out the set. And Checkup's the only one last standing. Can he steal the Baron? Oh, Fanza wants to try. Oh, Ezreal's going to go ahead and use Cleanse. Oh. Seems that Ezreal's on the run of his life right now. Shen is just a little bit faster, though. And they're going to go ahead and walk away. So, a good turnaround there from MWSU. The fight was all over the place. A little bit of knockups. But because Amon took out that Syndra, they took out a lot of the damage from CSU, causing them to win that fight. So a good fight from both sides, but MWSU prevails. 22 eliminations to 13. A little bit of recap of the top side board. MWSU is only up by about, I have to say, 700 gold. So the goal is very close to each other. MWSU up by 1 Drake. CSU does have 3 more towers than MWSU. So this map control is kind of shifting, I want to say, a little bit back and forth. MWSU gains map control when they win a team fight, but they don't have really much map control overall, I want to say. Oh no, Fanza, you're in a tough position. Syndra's ready to stun. Bush strats coming in from CSU. I think MWSU is going to try and counter this. Drake is up in 3 seconds too. And here we are. CSU is going to go ahead and start the Drake. They don't have a Azir, though, so they don't have as much damage as they usually do. Here comes the ultimate. It landed onto the Sejuani. Great Varus ultimate. Lax trying his best to knock up the enemy team. But he's not going to be successful there as they quickly collapse and targets the Wukong. Teleporting up top side now will be Azir. I think actually because Azir took the tower, the teleport got canceled. So Azir's going to continue shoving up topside there and applying pressure across the map. And that's what I was bringing up earlier. MWSU has map pressure when they win fights, but as soon as CSU goes on to respawn, it's a little bit tough for him. So, oh, wait, we see it. Here comes the ultimate that comes out from Ammon. Is he able to get away? Uses his passive, summons a tower. A great flash that comes out from Ammon. The orb that comes out from Syndra, though, lands onto Ammon, and Ammon gets taken out. Minion damage. Not Winions, unfortunately, as all the minions get taken out, but the minions doing a lot of damage. And there we go. The Azir tower gets destroyed. So, yes, in case viewers, you don't know what you just witnessed there, you saw Azir use his passive. When an enemy tower goes down, he can summon his own temporary tower, which is honestly very unique. Again, I honestly love Azir. I don't want to say he's not very strong. He seems really good right now, but back when I played, it's definitely not the best. Syndra's going to go ahead and take their allied blue buff. Check up will be going for the red buff here. It seems that we have the chickens there, the raptors, saying a little bit hello before red buff goes down. All right, so a grouping up now. A little Teemo thumbs up. Hydroxide, check up. And set. And Sejuani there. So it seems like we're going to get a little bit of a group, or grouping up in mid. Now 2-2 Drakes, by the way. MW is up in gold. Again, once again, Drakes are even. Up by about, I want to say, 1,000 gold after that fight. Just a little bit, maybe a little bit above that. Oh, Sejuani's in a little bit of a tough position. Can't be slowed. Here comes the charge up from the Varus. It lands. I think we're going to see Sejuani go down here. Lax is in a little bit of a tough position, but here comes the Shet ult. That saves the day. CSU falling fast as MWSU wins another team fight. Oh, and it does appear. Well, let's go ahead and switch on back over to the game. Much appreciated. So as we see here, grouping up now will be MWSU. Oh, Set's in a little bit of a tough position. We'll have the overshield, but can they stay alive? No, they cannot. It's an ace over to the side of MWSU. I think MWSU kind of could possibly end the game here. Lax and Fanza. They're going to go ahead, or Fanza here and Ammon are going to go ahead and recall. Another team fight here, won by MWSU, could possibly win the game. Or will win the game, actually, considering how high respawns here now as we slowly approach that 30-minute late game mark. We're kind of in late game. We're getting there. All right, so seems that MWSU really wants to try and shove the top side there, so Evozinator and Ammon will kind of be moving up towards that. Fanza is in the area too, just trying to clear out some extra wards that are unneeded. Seven towers to 5, MWSU now up in towers 2 after that last fight. So here we are now. Oh, Set manages to sidestep the hook, but doesn't sidestep the ultimate. It's going to get, probably, I want to say, oh, no Wukong ulti will be used here. And Ammon will go ahead and secure the elimination onto the Set. Syndra and Sejuani are trying their best to defend the base, positioning themselves here. Ezreal and Nautilus kind of want to come in from the bottom side here, trying to sandwich MWSU. The minions targeting Sejuani. That top tower is on 1 HP. One more hit could do the trick. Hydroxide managing to find Lax here. We might see the last team fight in the enemy side jungle. Hydroxide in a little bit of a misposition will go ahead and get taken out. The hook coming out from Fanza will go ahead and land on top of that Syndra there. Varus managing to find another elimination. I think that's going to be the winning team fight. A triple kill that comes in from Lax, taking out the turret, now going for the inhibitor. Now go ahead and continue sieging. Set is now up. His next teammate's up in 20 seconds. Can he go ahead and stay alive? Trying to do as much damage as possible. Getting shoved away now too. On about 1 HP, gets taken out before he can make it back to the fountain. Both towers are down, and Nexus is going to get taken out. Very well played by MWSU. 2-0 in tonight's best of 3 series. Very well played. What a great way to go ahead and go right into spring break, I want to say. But I believe we have a couple of games during spring break. But anyways, on from that, Griffins, I think I'm just going to go ahead and end the stream. So very well played by both sides, but MWSU Griffin Esports will go ahead and prevail for tonight. So thank you so much for watching, Griffs. And as all, oh wow, I just completely butchered that. Okay, let's run it back real quick. Thank you so much, Griffins, for watching. We do appreciate the support. And always remember, go Griffs. We'll catch you next time.